She still uses a house phone. When she calls me, she wraps the cord around her fingers as she talks. She says she likes to feel her voice as it runs away from her. She says she wants to believe distance is just a myth our minds create. When she found me, I was the last box on moving day. I was stretched out like piano wire, waiting for a hammer to knock the breath back into me. Her hands forced me upward like keys pounding harmony. She was the hottest day of summer, telling me to wake up and find water. Our bed was a rope swing. Our clothes scattered mosaic across the carpet. We read to each other from the bookshelf in the corner, the one that sagged in the middle until all its shelves were smiling, ready to laugh loose their stories. One afternoon, someone left a busted piano behind our house. We gathered everything we didn't need anymore and dropped it from our upstairs window, trying to hit the keys that still worked, marveling at our ability to make music bounce back to us from that distance. The morning she left, the half-closed shades left cords of sunlight stretching across her chest. I traced them like they were highways, and she, the smallest country, when she calls me, she traces her breath as it spirals to the wall and bounces between time zones. Her voice is strangled by 3,000 miles of telephone lines. The clothes we dressed our floor in for months have been stripped away. The room is naked now, the bookshelf half empty. When I think of that house, she is the only thing I can remember. Everything else fades. The room disappears entirely. I remember only having lived inside her. When the first astronomers looked up, they had to invent new words for how far apart two things could be. They built telescopes to force everything closer. I have built myself a telescope out of bedposts and bathroom mirrors. On warm nights, I climb to the top of my roof and look west, but the world curves her away from me. I know now why the myth of a flat earth existed for so long. It is not a story of people afraid of falling, but of people terrified of growing apart, dreaming that if you stare hard enough at the horizon, you will be able to find anyone who has left you. She calls me. Listen, she says. The blind man on my block had his cataracts removed. He told me when he looked out his window for the first time, he couldn't understand why his hand was larger than the houses across the road. He couldn't grasp how things looked smaller at a distance. So close your eyes. Stop looking for me in satellites fading below the skyline. Let us make this world flat again. This continent is just our kitchen table, these highways, piano strings, the same note ringing between us.